This morning, the crisis in Ukraine, the new investigation into possible war crimes.
The results of the investigation into Wisconsin's election delayed. When the public will get a look.
We have three things for you to know as you begin to head out the door. We could be talking about thunder by the weekend.
How about that? Thunderstorms in the forecast.
April coming a little early, huh?
March coming in. I don't know. Is it lion, lamb, whatever? It's one of those things. You guys know what I'm talking about.
It's on its way.
It certainly feels like it out there with 41 degrees outside this morning. Welcome to News 3 Now, everybody. I'm Chris Stanford.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Leah Linshine. We're going to go straight to the crisis in Ukraine overseas right now. Despite a promise from Russia, the country is still reporting civilian casualties and residential areas being targeted this morning.
And there's new video from the country's second largest city of Kharkiv, where you can see the extreme bombardment. Ukrainian authorities say 7 people died and at least 44 others have been wounded in Kharkiv in the last 24 hours. Prosecutors, meantime, with the International Crime Court, will open an investigation into potential war crimes in Ukraine. The court, located in the Netherlands, is an independent international body. And based on preliminary examination of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, prosecutors say there is a reasonable basis to believe Russia has committed both war crimes and crimes against humanity.
Ukraine's Ministry of Emergency Situations handing out this video footage overnight. Take a look. This shows fire and black smoke rising after a supermarket was shelled in northern Ukraine. There was no immediate information available on casualties there. Now, here in Madison, a church with ties to our local Ukrainian community is sharing support for the country.
It was an emotional night as a diverse congregation came together as one to pray for an end to the brutal conflict in Ukraine. Our Brad Hamilton spoke with organizers.
Candles lit for hope and a message of togetherness.
I mean, this is a world issue, and hopefully the prayers will be answered.
God is the Lord. One of tonight's organizers, Father Chris Margellos, says holding a special service to pray for those enduring this crisis in Ukraine was not only the right thing to do.
It's the very least thing we can do. I mean, there's not much we can do here outside of raise some money and help out monetarily, but to be able to do this one service and come together and say we're going to offer a prayer.
This diverse Madison congregation, which features both local Ukrainians and Russians, among other nationalities, can only watch and pray from afar.
We just wanted to do something to kind of help people cope, because I think a lot of people are struggling.
The prevailing message, to come together.
Unity is that one thing. Joining together, showing that it doesn't matter if maybe people don't get along, that they can come together in prayer.
Remembering the distinct difference between Vladimir Putin and the people for which he represents.
It's important that it is the message that Putin does not speak for all Russians. In fact, I would wonder and personally believe that he speaks for a very small minority of them.
That was Brad Hamilton reporting. If you'd like to donate towards helping Ukrainians in crisis, we have a number of different charities listed on our website, channel3000.com.
The report of a Republican-ordered investigation into the 2020 election in Wisconsin expected to be made public sometime today. Yesterday, a spokesperson for Michael Gableman said the report will first be turned over to Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos before it's made public. It had been due on Monday. Gableman's investigation has received criticism as a political stunt, given there is no evidence of widespread election fraud in Wisconsin or anywhere else in the country.
The sweeping January 6th investigation is headed into a new phase, with the first trial beginning this week. The stakes are undeniably high, the outcome likely to influence scores of criminal defendants who face similar charges related to the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
6:03 now. Let's turn over to Chris Reese, your certified most accurate forecast. Hey there, Chris.
Hey, lots of 40s in that forecast. It's one of the three things for us to know headed out the door. But we are going to see another day that comes our direction below freezing, and we're going to be turning wet with perhaps some thunder as we start to move into the weekend. I've been talking about this upper air pattern because it's really driving the weather that we're overall going to be dealing with as we go throughout the week. The coldest of the air to our north, the warmest just to our south. When you're in between, things get a little cloudy, a little active. We'll see systems passing by, but they're mainly going to miss to the north. But that's why we're going to have so many chances, or at least drizzle or flurries throughout the week. Perhaps a setup that leads to a bigger storm system this weekend, though, and into early next week. That's going to be something for us to watch. In fact, here's some of the model data. You see the system zipping by to our north. That's Wednesday. That's where we see our chance of drizzle and flurries throughout the day tomorrow. By Friday night into Saturday, we might see a mix that goes over to some rain, potentially some heavier rain into parts of your Saturday as well. Certainly something to watch. Here's that mix trying to develop late Friday night, but it does become rain and thunderstorms as we move towards the weekend. That being said, this morning we're going to be all clear when you're commuting, really all clear all day long, just more cloud cover gets into the mix. These are some of our road conditions right now. This is the belt line at Stoughton Road. Look at how smooth and clear it is. And again, I'm expecting no weather-related delays or issues as you begin to head out to work or even head home from work a little bit later on today. 40 is our temperature right now, so we have dropped a degree. Our wind chill coming in at 36, 37 for Janesville, 36 in the Dells. Monroe coming in at 38 degrees as well. Let's plan the day. Let's put things into motion, and you see how those temperatures warm up to about 43 for your high this afternoon. We'll start to cool down to about 30 overnight tonight. Then you see our little chance for flurries and drizzle as we move into Wednesday. The extended forecast, look at how warm we are on Wednesday. 47 for your high. We go to 50 for your high on Saturday, and that might trend even warmer. The system looking a little stronger. The farther north it pulls, the more warm air we will see, but also the better our chance for thunderstorms as well. We could really wash things off as we move towards Saturday. And it's kind of funny to me because, yes, we do have a chance of a mix at night on Friday before going to 50 on Saturday, and then a chance of snow Sunday night into Monday.
All right, Chris Reese on top of it. Thank you. Breaking news overnight. The deadline to end the Major League Baseball lockout has been extended to later today. The original deadline was midnight Eastern time overnight. The MLB and the Players Association now have until 5 o'clock this afternoon to come to an agreement. The two sides met 13 times yesterday trying to reach some kind of common ground, though each side has agreed before yesterday. There was no deal in sight.
Again, opening day for the Brewers, March 31st, creeping up.
Coming up quick.
6:06 now. An effort to cut down on the country's second most deadly cancer, and it's right in our own backyard.
And we're in the 608 this morning celebrating all things Fat Tuesday at Lane's Bakery. When we come back, stick around, folks.
I like my smile. I like my smile after finishing the power swabs.
I think white teeth are absolute sexy magnets. I love it.
Power swabs have really made a huge difference on the entire quality and color of my teeth, and I'm very, very happy with them.
I've used strips and trays, and they both gave me really sensitive teeth for hot drinks, ice cream, anything hot or cold. Really, really sensitive teeth. With the power swabs, I've been using them for a week and nothing. I had hot coffee this morning and ice cream last night and no problems.
It is so fast. It is effective.
The great thing about power swabs is that it's just easy to use. To me, it's the best solution for teeth whitening on the market.
Introducing Power Swabs, the 5-minute stain removing and whitening treatment. Apply the Step 1 stain removing cleanser. Use the swab to get in between teeth, around edges, as the blue cleansing detergent is thin enough to get into pores to release stains. Open Swab 2. Duplicate the process. Instantly see up to a full 2-shade difference. That's powerful. Forget gooey trays. Save a fortune on electronics. Forget slippery strips. Imagine your teeth up to 6 shades whiter in a week. Call or visit us online now, and we'll send you the complete Power Swab system. 7 cleansing swabs. 7 Power Swab foaming whitening swabs. Thanks for celebrating hundreds of thousands of satisfied smiles. We're offering them to you right now for this incredible discount. We'll pay your shipping and handling. If you're not fully satisfied, even after day 1, return it for your money back. Laugh more, smile more, enjoy life more. Call right now or go online now, and we've been authorized for a limited time to include our on-the-go Power Swab Stain Out Quick Stick. It's a $19.95 value, free. With this complete offer, you are saving over 40%. Call or go online now. Brighten your smile and your life now.
Over these past months, we've all experienced changes. and a great deal of reflection. But here's a change you can truly be excited about. Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, permanently removes the fat from your stomach, hips and thighs, and back.
I walked past mirrors. I didn't want to see any of that. I can't even tell you how excited I am about Sono Bello and what they've done for me.
I'm just living my best life now because I'm being the best that I can be.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently. Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. Plus, get $250 off instantly. You deserve to do something for you. Call 1-888-512-1753 or go to sonobello.com now.
You're watching Madison's fastest growing newscast. News 3 Now this morning.
All right, folks, it's Fat Tuesday in the 608, and we are, of course, celebrating all morning long.
Josh Breiter's making us all very jealous this morning.
He is.
He's live at Lane's Bakery, and he is eating up punchkis and king cakes, all sorts. The Voodoo Dolls.
The Voodoo Doll.
They got it all there, Josh.
All sorts of stuff, guys. I've already had to clean my face off a couple of times from all that powdered sugar, and Chuck says I'm still a little too clean today, so now we're back in the kitchen again. So now we're working on the king cake. This is another big specialty you guys got along with the punchkis.
Correct.
You know, what all goes into making king cake?
King cake, it's a sweet dough, which is basically, it's kind of like a donut, but a little sweeter. Danish, donut, Danish, it's a combination of all of them, but we mix it to full development, and then it's got like a butter, brown sugar filling. And then it gets the icing, the colors, and all the jazz that goes on top of it, the beads and stuff.
You bet. So we got the finished product over there. We're going to put a couple of together here. So you've got some icing and sprinkles. Let's put it together, Chuck.
All right. And what I'll do is I'll ice it, and then you can put the sugar on it.
So how many are you prepared of these to sell today?
Probably 250.
Okay.
Let's say. So then just, yep.
Go right down the line here.
Perfect.
We love the sugar at this time of the morning.
And we'll let you take this one back with you.
That sounds good. Boy, pressure's on now. Now I better put a little bit of extra sugar on this.
Perfect.
Perfection. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know, so talk a little bit about this day in general. This has been a tradition for you guys for a very, very long time. There's already a line out the door this morning of folks being here. You know, how special is to be able to put something like this on for the community?
Like I said earlier, it's great because, you know, people come in, they're getting a quality product made fresh, locally, and it puts a smile on their face.
So people are interested, you know, a lot of folks did pre-order already for today.
Correct.
But if they do want to come in, like I mentioned, the line out the door already, you're going to want to get in here fast.
Yeah, and then we should be good on the punchkis, king cakes. I don't know how long they'll last. You know, that's first come, first serve, you know, if you didn't order them. But we should be good on everything else, you know, like the punchkis. I've got a whole, probably another 40 dozen right there to do, so we should be good.
A lot of yummy goodness on this Fat Tuesday, Chuck. All right, guys, hey, look at that. Of course, we don't have the other stuff on there, but that is looking pretty good. I did lose my IFB, so I cannot hear you guys. We're going to send it back to you, but of course, we've got more to look forward to in about 30 minutes.
This is our opportunity to say anything to Josh that we want.
What should we say about him?
Josh, you look great with all that powdered sugar on your face.
Smile and wave, boys.
I wonder if the photographer can hear us. Mark
I'll stop
Schilling,
before I get myself in trouble.
handsome, devilishly talented man. Josh, you're just all right.
Thanks, Josh. Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. He's always looking for story ideas. So hit him up. Let him know. You can reach out to him on social media or email him at in the608@WISC-TV.com. And we all remember what Josh was covering yesterday. It is the Big Share happening today. It's the 8th annual event to raise some funds for local nonprofits focused on social and environmental justice. The theme of this year's campaign is Make Change Happen. They hope to raise about $500,000 for partners. If you'd like to donate, go to channel3000.com. The link is under Josh's story from yesterday.
All right, UW Health's Pancreatic Cancer Prevention Program is working to stop the deadly disease. The program is relatively new. It started in 2020. It identifies and monitors patients who are at increased risk of developing the cancer. As of February, more than 1,000 patients are part of the program. Factors that increase a patient's risk include genetics, family history, and certain types of cysts that can be found in the pancreas.
Our GI colleagues perform a procedure called endoscopic ultrasound, which is a scoping procedure where they can go down with an ultrasound and sample these lesions.
Researchers hope to make the screening process less invasive in the future. But for now, the best way to prevent pancreatic cancer is to catch it before it presents symptoms. This particular type of cancer is the second most deadly behind lung cancer.
All right, let's check it with Chris Reese now. He's got your certified most accurate forecast. Look at that, the sun already coming up, Chris.
Is that not, oh my gosh, think about it. 2 weeks from now, sun's gonna rise an hour earlier because we have pushed the clock forward. So things are going to start brightening up out there. We're going to start seeing more daylight as that sunset sets an hour later as well. So that being said, we are warm, 40 degrees right now. Winds out of the north and west at 6, our wind chill into the mid 30s. We're going to hang out into the upper 30s to right around 40 for this morning. And then by lunchtime, temperatures are starting to increase into those 40s. In fact, we should top out right around 43 into the afternoon. That mix of sun and clouds, it's going to hang out with us all day long. Here's one thing to watch though. This is the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. We favor being wetter than normal, and for everywhere pretty much along and north of I-80, this is good news. We're in a drought. We need rain. We need snow. Everywhere south, which oddly enough is where the greatest chance of being wetter than normal is, it's a bad situation. We're talking about flooding happening as we go through the next couple of weeks there. We expanded for 2 weeks out, 8 to 14 days, and we still look to be wetter than normal. This is what often happens when you have a setup where you're warmer than normal across the southeastern part of the country, yet colder than normal across the northwestern part of the country. This sets up a storm track across the nation's midsection, and this is one that's often an active period for us as well. A lot of your wintry weather happens to the north with the rain and thunderstorms farther to the south. It's your typical springtime setup. We'll see how that begins to play out for us, but we're really going to watch this pattern as we go through the next couple of weeks. Speaking of patterns, I'm watching traffic patterns this morning, and all throughout southern Wisconsin, we are smooth. Whether you're headed down 151 or up from Janesville into Madison, down from Portage into Madison, I'm not seeing any kind of issues or delays this morning.
All right, Chris Reese tracking it all for us. We appreciate it. Thank you. 6:16 now. The Badgers are ranked 10th in the AP Top 25 heading into the final week of the regular season. And tonight, the Badgers will host the 8th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers. The Badgers looking to clinch at least part of the Big Ten regular season title. Back in January, they upset Purdue in Indiana with the help of 37 points from Johnny Davis. If they win tonight, it's going to be the first back-to-back victory over the Boilermakers since 2015. Tip-off is set for 8 at the Kohl Center. If you're going to the game, don't forget to bring your white for the whiteout. I asked these gentlemen to wear white today. It's a little tougher when you got to wear a suit.
Yeah, my white suit's still at the cleaner.
Okay.
I do not have a bright white suit. It might blind everybody with all that white.
Would look sharp. Would look sharp.
Well, hopefully the Badgers blind the competition tonight. We are definitely rooting for them. Also, in sports news this morning, did you hear that the Packers might be hosting the NFL Draft? According to Packers CEO Mark Murphy, Green Bay is one of 3 finalists to host the 2024 Draft. Washington, D.C. and Detroit are the other finalists. D.C. hosted the event in 1941. Murphy expects to learn the final decision at the annual league meetings held March 27th through the 30th. This year's draft is in Vegas.
The Packers will be heading across the pond for the 2022 season. This is a part of the NFL looking to expand their international games. The team will play a regular season game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. This is the first time ever the Packers will play in London since the NFL started hosting games there back in 2007. Up until now, the Packers were the only NFL team to have not played a regular season game in another country.
Yeah, the Packers were last to do this because of the toll it has in the local Green Bay economy. The overseas game will take a home game from the team and the city. They will still have 8 home games next season. Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy says the economic impact is part of the reason the Packers are the last team in the NFL to participate in the international series.
The games in Green Bay are so important to the local economy that we have always been reluctant to give up a home game. And then the other side is, in terms of when we're the visiting teams, that we travel so well that teams that would be hosting us are reluctant to give up a home game against the Packers.
Murphy says the Packers are planning some major events in Green Bay to make up for some of the lost revenue. Although he says this is really an opportunity for the Packers and Green Bay to get some international promotion.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, a lot of fans are bummed about this. Some are excited. You know, wherever you fall.
You said, you know, most teams still get roughly 8 home games. Packers will get 8 home games.
Yeah, Packers are still going to get their 8 home games. They got 17 games now in the season. So we couldn't avoid going overseas forever for the last one.
It's kind of interesting. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch in a different stadium.
Yeah, so it'll be on early morning our time, so it won't be like an afternoon game or an evening game.
Works
so
for us.
Be, you know, you can watch the Packers with breakfast for the first time, unless you're a late riser. Or
Why
really
not?
late riser, I guess. All right, coming up, look at what New York City residents are dodging in the streets.
And still ahead this morning, a preview of the State of the Union. We sit down with the political science professor to talk about what it means for Wisconsin. Stay with us.
This portion of News 3 Now is brought to you by Shopko Optical.
Cobeson buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobeson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm David Cohen, the COO of Love Your Teeth. When I met the dentist who developed Love Your Teeth and I saw how effective it was and how easy it was to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Love Your Teeth was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth, as well as stains on caps and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. And for those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, with Love Your Teeth, you can target that area using Swab Precision.
With Love Your Teeth, my teeth were looking great. Like, I would just wake up every day like, oh my God, my teeth are getting whiter. I'm just so confident in the way that my smile looks.
I'm so happy with the results. Before I started Love Your Teeth, I took a selfie. They're so white, so different.
The brilliance of my teeth now is so much better.
If you have yellowing between your teeth or coffee stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in your first application, you'll see up to 2 shades whiter teeth and 7 shades in 7 days. Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour and get up to 2 shades whiter in your first application.
I love red wine, tea, coffee, and I typically get stains at like the bottom part of my teeth, and it's very obvious. This was my smile before I started using Love Your Teeth. Here's my smile now.
While I was using other teeth whitening products, my teeth became sensitive. With Love Your Teeth, there was 0 sensitivity the entire process.
Call for your 10-minute solution to a whiter smile. Order Love Your Teeth today and get 50% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, get a free Love Your Teeth Go Pen with your order. The Go Pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even smoking. In addition to saving up to 50% on your purchase and your free Go Pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit lyt50.com.
This is the house that angels built. Attic Angels Senior Living Community is built on a foundation of authentic, local care. A framework for living well. Windows to take in the beautiful future. And is crowned by the pride that one's home is one's castle. This is the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living. Built with the help of angels.
Cobeson buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
I want to thank Vicki for sharing this photo of a haunted chapel in the woods. Doesn't it kind of look, this doesn't look very inviting, does it?
So I've been here. I think it is really
And you survived, so it's not too bad.
I'm alive. I am not haunted by the ghosts of Christmas past. This is at Indian Lake outside of Mazamani. If you've ever taken a little hike there, you can end up in this little chapel. And a lot of folks take, you might be surprised to hear, but a lot of folks take engagement photos here. For like perhaps a spooky theme.
To each their own.
It's a Halloween-themed wedding, perhaps.
I'm sure the views are magnificent.
They are.
And in the summer or springtime or even in the fall, it looks very nice.
So maybe it just needs, it could just be like there are no leaves on the trees. It looks like it needs a little bit of a pressure wash.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe this is why it looks a little creepy.
The fence and the trees and the patina on the stone there of the chapel, yeah.
But is that a window in the back of on the side of the chapel?
Are you looking in that window? Are you kidding me?
No,
Nobody's
I'm just
looking
saying,
in that window.
that's a window. So maybe if you open the door, it's not as dark as we think. Maybe there's some light in there.
Right.
Look at that. Ever the optimist over there.
We kid, Vicki. It's a wonderful photo. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning and share your creepy chapel photos with us. We love to see them. We'll show our favorites on the air every day.
Just about 6 months until Halloween, folks. 6:24 now. In New York City, the warming weather is bringing falling ice down on pedestrians from the skyscrapers above.
Yeah, this is terrifying. Some pedestrians were forced to dodge these large sheets of ice. They were raining down from skyscrapers recently. You see them here? Look how big that one is. And these people, that guy's trying to kick it. You see it falls and he's trying to, this guy's nuts.
Some people like to tempt fate, Chris.
Oh, man. In all seriousness, folks, some people have gotten hurt. Authorities say that a woman is recovering after being hit by one of the chunks.
Well, you can see some of these folks do not see that coming. Oh, my goodness.
They're just so glued to their screens in front of them, or they don't care.
That's what's wrong with humanity.
I've heard that
if we'd only
New York
lift our heads every once in a while and pay attention to what's going on around us.
Back in the day, I never got hit with any ice chunks. Walking
I've heard in New York City, people just walk around. Like, they don't look around and take in their surroundings. They're on the move all the time.
And then we show people falling into potholes or into construction sites.
Or getting hit by ice.
There you go.
That's what it is.
It's wild. It's the winds on the top of the skyscraper is blowing that melting ice off.
Yeah. All right, bus stop forecast for us right now. Bus pickup time, temperature's going to be into the upper 30s. We're really hanging out around 40 for a good portion of today. We're going to be warming things up to 43 this afternoon. Look for a mix of sun and clouds.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
The Big Share, an online day of giving, is March 1st. Advance social and environmental justice by supporting the 70 nonprofit members of Community Shares of Wisconsin. Even a $5 donation can make change happen. Donate now through March 1st at thebigshare.org.
I knew I had to take charge of my life. I didn't recognize myself. Now with Jenny Craig, I've lost 35 pounds and 4 inches.
Introducing the revolutionary Max Up, the one-stop, most effective weight loss solution. Limited time offer. Join now.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-6947. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-6947.
Dove 0% is different. We left aluminum out and put 48-hour freshness and 1/4 moisturizers in. Dove 0% aluminum deodorant is kinder on skin, and now it's refillable for life.
Some of us are just driven to succeed, to make it to the top and stay there. We drive towards success at everything we do. Always striving, fueled by passion, integrity, and work ethic. Because to us, success means accepting nothing less than being the best. and making sure you're surrounded by a team who is at the top of the leaderboard, like Hy-Vee.
Doing great, Jack.
Hy-Vee's commitment to excellence, their insistence on only the highest standards, and their drive to be the best means when it comes to fresh food, they know fresh. And here's a simple takeaway. If you think you can find any better, then you don't know Hy-Vee, and you don't know Jack.
The Big Share, an online day of giving, is March 1st. Your support helps the 70 nonprofit members of Community Shares of Wisconsin advance social and environmental justice and make change happen. Donate now through March 1st at thebigshare.org.
Right now, mandate expired as of midnight. Dane County no longer requiring masks for the first time in 6 months.
The Russian invasion of Ukraine entering its 6th day. Fighting in the country's largest cities continues as 500,000 people cross the border to safety.
Temperatures are in the 40s as you begin to head out the door, and that warm-up continues. The first storm forecast.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. March 1st, that means starting this morning, masks are no longer required inside of Dane County buildings.
Public health officials have decided to allow the mandate to expire as case counts and COVID hospitalizations continue to decline. Important note here, local businesses and schools still have the ability to set their own rules when it comes to mask use. For the latter, Middleton Cross Plains School District no longer requiring masks, though they are strongly encouraged. Some Prairie kids can also go maskless starting today, and Verona removing their mask mandate, but also strongly encouraging them.
So if you have kids in the Madison Metro School District, they will still have to wear their masks while inside. Starting today, though, outdoor masking is optional. Students that are involved in sports and co-curricular activities can unmask indoors while competing or performing. Phase 2 of their plan would remove the masking policy after spring break in April. We have a full list of how Dane County schools are adjusting to the mask policies up right now on channel3000.com and our Channel 3000 mobile app. You can get it for free wherever you get your apps. President Biden will give his first State of the Union address tonight.
Yeah, we wanted to bring on a local expert to lay out what we can expect. Dr. Maurice Shepard is a political science instructor from Madison College. Thanks for waking up with us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
We want to start with talking about the economy. Lots of folks thinking about this morning. Record inflation, a pretty shaky stock market, especially with what's going on overseas. Is there anything the president can talk about tonight to turn things around?
Sure. I think the president has a number of policies that he can use to help to address the issue of inflation. One, well, he'll work with once again, the Federal Reserve, but also he can address the supply chain issue. That's been a major area in terms of, once again, leading to the increase in inflation. He can also point to his policy successes as elements to reduce inflation in terms of infrastructure development. He passed the infrastructure bill, and then also the child tax care credit. A number of studies have shown that policy actually reduces inflation, along with moving people out of, and particularly children, out of poverty.
Dr. Shepard, fair to say that the world will be watching closer than usual tonight. The conflict in Ukraine is expected to take priority. A new poll shows that 62% of Americans want the U.S. to do more to stop Russia, while 58% are opposed to direct military action. How do you expect the president to address this tonight?
I think for President Biden, he has to address this as commander-in-chief. One, to look out for the interests of the United States, first and foremost. But second, being, once again, the President of the United States, he also takes a leadership position in global politics, international politics. So I expect that during the State of the Union, for President Biden, he touts himself as sort of a straight shooter. I think he'll be honest with the American people and point out that, one, that the Russian invasion of Ukraine is a serious matter, and two, it will have some negative impact on Americans and their lives. But I think also what he will do is highlight how he and his administration, how they're working with international organizations and institutions such as the United Nations and NATO.
A new NPR poll has President Biden's approval ratings at 39%. That's a low for his presidency. Do you expect his State of the Union address to help boost those numbers as they normally do?
Usually the State of the Union will have sort of a temporary bump. So he'll get a bump up in terms of maybe, once again, his polling numbers. But I think what is more realistic in terms of expectations for the State of the Union as it relates to polling numbers and also how the American public perceives the president is to lay the groundwork for a long-term policy agenda. The State of the Union is unique in that it provides the president a single platform to not only communicate to Congress, but also to the American people what his position is. So I think there'll be a temporary, again, sort of positive bump that he will get, but he can lay the groundwork for a much longer possibility to improve his polling numbers. And also important to that will be to help his party in the upcoming midterm elections.
All right, a lot at stake tonight. Dr. Shepard from Madison College, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Here's how you can watch the State of the Union tonight. We'll have it live right here on News 3 Now and streaming through Channel 3000. The address begins at 8 p.m. and CBS will have full coverage before and after the speech.
This actually marks President Biden's first State of the Union address to a joint session of Congress. Last year, Biden spoke to Congress during an informal address in April, detailing his plans for infrastructure and social programs. Tonight, he will renew his call for Congress to pass pieces of his Build Back Better agenda as a way to fight inflation. He had a tricky year getting his agenda passed. Experts say tonight he'll have to walk a fine line as he tries to promote his accomplishments.
The President of the United States cannot make all Americans happy, but he does have to do what Bill Clinton used to say, feel their pain. And this is a strength, it so happens, of Joe Biden.
Every member of Congress is invited to tonight's speech, unlike last year when there were limits due to COVID. Masks are optional tonight. A negative PCR test, though, is required. And after President Biden delivers his address, he and the First Lady will be in Wisconsin tomorrow. They'll be visiting Superior to talk about his bipartisan infrastructure law. He'll be delivering tomorrow afternoon's remarks at Yellow Jacket Union, that's on the UW Superior campus.
To the crisis in Ukraine now, a 40-mile convoy of Russian tanks and other vehicles is now within 17 miles of Kyiv, threatening the capital city. And new video of Russian missile attacks that hit the center of Ukraine's second largest city, hitting residential areas. Ukraine's foreign minister calling the attacks on Kharkiv barbaric. Video of the rubble shows devastating damage, but no official casualties have been announced yet. 6 days into the invasion, the Russian military's movements have been stalled by fierce resistance on the ground and a surprising inability to dominate the airspace.
Russians have not only experienced a stiff and determined resistance by the Ukrainians, but logistics and sustainment problems of their own.
Standard & Poor's has cut Russia's credit rating to junk status. The ruble fell 30% yesterday, making it worth less than a penny now.
Scores of protesters are in police custody in St. Petersburg, Russia this morning after demonstrating against the invasion. Protests started Thursday and have continued daily ever since, even as Russian police continue to crack down on those rallies. A Russian human rights group is tracking political arrests there. They say police have detained at least 2,700 Russians in 50 cities. And there's new video this morning showing refugees arriving in Athens, Greece by bus overnight. According to Greek authorities, just over 1,000 Ukrainian citizens have crossed into Greece in the last 5 days. The UN estimates more than 500,000 people have already left that country.
All right, 6:37. Let's switch gears. Check it with Chris Reese and your certified most accurate forecast. 40 degrees out there, Chris.
Check it out. Yeah, we are waking up with a mild morning in play. Our average high this time of the year is 35 degrees, but we are at 40. Our wind chill at 36 this morning. And most of the colder air as well to our north. 70s showed up yesterday in places like Omaha, Nebraska. So a 6-hour drive away. Temperatures are in the 70s, but also a 6-hour drive away in the other direction, and it gets a lot colder. We're going to stay kind of split between the two this week. As we start to move towards the weekend, we'll see a surge of milder air before some colder air starts to move in for early next week. That's where we'll start to be a little chillier. Check it out, though. 43 today, 47 tomorrow. Thursday's cold. we don't get above the freezing point. But 50, we make up for that into Saturday. We'll also see rain, lightning, and thunder on Saturday. Then next week, we'll see steadier temperatures into the middle 30s. Our setup right now has been bringing these weak systems coming in out of the north and west, but they don't have really much moisture with them at all. Because of that, I can't rule out the possibility of seeing a flurry or a sprinkle this morning. Otherwise, we're generally going to be dry as temperatures top out around 43 this afternoon. That mix of sun and clouds is going to be staying with us. We'll cool down to about 30 tonight. Then tomorrow we'll see more chances for some flurries or some drizzle. Temperatures top out again at 47 for your Wednesday. So it is going to be incredibly warm before that cold front. I can't rule out a flurry on Thursday either. 38 on Friday. Friday night, what starts as a mix goes over to some rain on Saturday. That could become thunder by Saturday afternoon and evening with temperatures, again, right around 50. But then Sunday night into Monday, we begin to track that next system. That could bring us a chance or some snow. Another chance of a mix arrives by the time we get you towards Thursday of next week.
Yeah, a little taste of April showers, but we are not done with winter yet.
We are not. We are not. We are only moving into
March.
full spring.
It's not April yet.
We're moving into full spring.
Spring showers.
Sprinter.
April, yeah, but showers are known to come in April, so we're getting a taste of them a little earlier.
I will tell you, Leah, that growing up, I always thought April flowers bring May showers made no sense at all until I moved here, because the flowers bloom in May here, whereas where I grew up, they always bloom in like February.
Here's to just hoping they bloom at all.
They'll bloom.
We'll move on now. Chris Reese, thank you very much. We appreciate it. 6:40 now. There is a new push underway to rename another Madison school. This time it's Jefferson Middle. Experts say it's still early in the process of trying to get the name changed.
We are not making a specific proposal, but we understand that in accordance with the Board of Ed policy 6700, the Board of Education can respond to this request by seeking specific name proposals that fit the criteria and appoint an ad hoc committee composed of school and community members to take up the proposals.
The push for the change is due to its namesake, third President Thomas Jefferson, who owned enslaved people. It comes after Memorial High School next door got a name change, going from James Madison Memorial to Vel Phillips.
6:40 here on your Tuesday morning. We are keeping an eye on your morning commute and our chance at a thunderstorm later this week.
An April shower.
And oh baby, it is Fat Tuesday and we're coming in hot from Lay's Bakery. After the break, stick around for all the yummy goodness. We'll be right back.
Pick and Save delivery is always fresh because we check our produce at every stop on its journey to you. We're fresh every day, so shop any way. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
These are the faces that smile so wide at the friends and staff who are by their side, where life is lived with a feeling of pride on every bump of life's great ride that comes from the care that sweetens the air that lives in the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community, independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living built with the help of angels.
Come experience Floor & Decor's grand opening in Monona. With our unmatched selection of tile, wood, stone, laminate, vinyl, and more, all at everyday low prices, at Floor & Decor, you'll discover the perfect products for shopping on trend and on budget, all in one stop. Plus, our helpful associates make realizing your vision easy from start to finish, so your upgrade has never been more you. Discover your new Floor & Decor, now open in Monona, or visit us online at flooranddecor.com.
Instead of being impartial, media outlets have become advocates for the Democrat Party. They got Joe Biden, who campaigned from his basement, elected president. Now they're covering up the disasters his policies created by attacking and censoring anyone who exposes the failures. But they can't hide inflation, higher gas prices, and rising crime from the people devastated by them. I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message. I will continue to ask questions and uncover the truth.
When you need a paint to fit your lifestyle, Menards has got you covered. From protecting against this or covering this.
to refinishing this. We have a paint for you. You also need it in this color or even this color. We can do that. Stop in and talk to one of our paint professionals to make your colors come to life. Right now at Menards, DuraClean Interior Kitchen and Bath Semi-Gloss Paint is $21.99 after rebates.
At Pick and Save, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales for prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
U.S. ad spending is set to surpass $300 billion by 2022, and the greater Madison area is poised for major growth. So now would be a great time to consider a career in multimedia sales and to join our team selling our top-rated media and digital solutions. Work for a company that offers training, autonomy, flexibility, income growth, upward mobility, and work-life balance with a competitive wage. If you have a passion to drive results for local businesses, then visit morganmurphymedia.com right now to apply.
You're watching Madison's fastest growing newscast. News 3 Now this morning.
Hi, Chris. I'm Patty from Cottage Grove. Chris, plan my day.
Well, good morning. We are going to plan out this day. A mix of sun and clouds is expected, but it is mild. We're at 40 right now. Temperatures may drop another degree or so into the upper 30s, but then we're going to be back into the 40s for much of today. Topping out at 43. Again, that mix of sun and clouds sticking around for us. Part of that cloud cover is going to be brought to us by this weak disturbance trying to sneak through. It's got some dry air to battle, but I can't rule out drizzle or a flurry as we go throughout today. There it is. You see our temperature at 40. A wind chill coming in into the middle 30s. Over the next 12 hours, look at how temperatures begin to warm up. They stabilize into the low 40s for the afternoon. Tonight, we're going to see our temperatures drop down to about 30, and then we'll do this all over again tomorrow, but we're going to add a couple degrees, topping out right around 47 for your Tuesday afternoon. Still, again, some drizzle or flurries is going to be possible.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you very much. 6:45 now, it is Fat Tuesday in the 608, and we are, of course, celebrating all morning long.
Josh Breiter is live at Lane's Bakery this morning, diving into everything delicious. Hey there, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, I've already got 2 punchkis down already, and it's what, like 6:30 in the morning. But hey, this is what Fat Tuesday is all about. Chuck Lane is here with us, and you guys are up and at 'em. You've already seen how many dozens of people are here today.
Yeah, I mean the line's been to the door or out the door even. So
even before you guys were open at 6 o'clock, the line was out the door this morning. You know, this is what you live for, and you are here for the community. You know, how much has this community been for you, especially over the last couple of years?
Oh, the community's been great. I mean, through the pandemic and everything that's going on, you know, they've been great. They've been loyal. I mean, and we have a great product, so, you know, it's great to see them come in, but the support of the community has been amazing.
And you've got good people working back there, too. You've got all the folks here, a couple of extra friends helping out today because of how busy it is.
Some family helping out, some friends helping out, and we are shorthanded. Everybody's shorthanded nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what's going on, but we'll make it through this.
So Fat Tuesday, this is Christmas for you, almost better than Christmas. You guys live for this. You know, we've got the punchkis, the voodoo dolls, and the king cake. So this is the specialty, one day only you can get today.
One day only, correct.
You know, talk a little bit about the tradition that this has been for many years. You look forward to this all the time.
Yeah, I look forward to it. In one way, I look forward to it. In the other way, it's like, oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a rough one, you know, and it's been a rough few days. But it's great, you know. It's great to see people coming out, enjoying themselves, and there's no mask anymore. It's great. I mean, everybody, I think that's bringing more people in.
It's good to see people's faces again.
Yes.
You can finally see the smile of when they dig into a punchki and get powdered sugar everywhere.
You know, instead of pulling down their mask, eat a bite, and then putting it back, you know, it is good. And this community is great. And Madison and the surrounding communities everybody comes in. I posted something on our Facebook page, and as of yesterday, 21,000 people looked at it.
Wow.
And it's like, that shows support. You know, I just love it. I mean, I love doing this. I like to see people happy.
Getting a little bit closer to normal around here.
Oh, yeah. We're going to come back, you know.
We're excited for it. Okay, so we've been teasing this all morning. So you've got the voodoo doll. So how does this work? Because you've got the little pretzel things out here. So we're going to do this. We're going to put it into action here.
Actually, just grab a pretzel stick.
Okay.
And just jab it somewhere, and you should get. So
you kind of got to pry it out, right? Get the, oh boy, of course.
And I've never eaten one, so you pull it out, and there should be a little red on there.
Get a little red out of there. There it is. So king cake, Voodoo Doll, ooh, that's really good. Punchkis, one day only. You recommend people getting in here early.
Correct. And then we will make king cakes. If people call to order them, we'll make them after today. But the punchkis a one-day event. King cakes we can.
More. Yeah. There we go. Look at that.
Oh.
Very good. Well, Chuck, as always, we've made this a tradition here. I don't think I'm dirty enough, though, this morning. I'm not looking dirty enough. Guys, you remember last year. Let's see if I can do it.
Get in there. Hey.
That doesn't count. You gotta eat to get it.
Come on, a little bit more.
It's Fat Tuesday. We're going to have one more.
Hey, save me some.
All right, good stuff. You see how he went in there for a second jab of the Voodoo Doll?
I was thinking...
Very aggressive.
I was thinking I'm the Voodoo Doll for eating all of his snacks.
He'd never.
You think?
He'd never.
It's so good.
Fat Tuesday, live in Lane's Bakery this morning. Josh Ryder in the 608. Thank you very much.
He looks like Santa.
You bet.
Handsome. All right, remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him on social media or shoot him an email for a chance to be featured. You know we love food.
And we haven't done a lot of food places recently.
No, we haven't. Help us out.
Get some more snacks here in the newsroom.
Help us out, folks. Okay, 6:49 now. Coming up in the morning sprint, a shooting overnight in Sacramento, California. The very latest details out of that state.
And if you've got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, we'd love to share their picture on TV. And we want to say happy birthday to Aaron and all the kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us. We'll be right back.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
The Big Share, an online day of giving, is March 1st. Advance social and environmental justice by supporting the 70 nonprofit members of Community Shares of Wisconsin. Even a $5 donation can make change happen. Donate now through March 1st at thebigshare.org.
Everything is relative. Travel, for example. A trip to Stoughton might seem like a long way, but if you're shopping for diamonds, it's closer than you think.
Diamond Select.
Importers of shimmering diamonds from the mines of South Africa to the streets of Antwerp and Tel Aviv. They shop the diamond capitals of the world so you don't have to.
Diamond Select. Direct pricing saves you money.
On GIA certified South African diamonds.
Diamond Select.
Downtown Stoughton.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down, and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
Deep in credit card debt? Did you know Credit Associates can help you reduce that debt? It's not nearly as complicated as you think. Let me show you what I mean. First, there's the total amount of credit card debt you owe. Whoa! We can reduce that by almost half. Second, how about those decades you'll be in debt? We reduce that down to as little as 24 to 36 months, giving you up to 20 debt-free years back. Lastly, how about the endless hours of stress and anxiety from being in debt? We can help reduce that too. It's easy to get started. Call now to see how Credit Associates can reduce your debt and save you thousands. The information is free and there's no risk to call. 1-800-949-3849. Call Credit Associates now to start living better, debt-free. 1-800-949-3849.
The Big Share, an online day of giving, is March 1st. Your support helps the 70 nonprofit members of Community Shares of Wisconsin advance social and environmental justice and make change happen. Donate now through March 1st at thebigshare.org.
Here for you in a heartbeat. SSM Health, Heart and Vascular Care.
6:53, time for the morning sprint.
Developing news out of Ukraine at this hour. Russian shelling pounding the central square in Kharkiv, that country's second biggest city. No reports of casualties, but authorities confirming residential areas were hit there. Satellite images, meantime, show a massive Russian convoy, roughly 40 miles long, just miles from Kyiv. A defense official says forces may attempt to circle that capital city within days. Russian President Vladimir Putin again warning his nuclear forces are on high alert.
Memorial High School and Jefferson Middle School will be back open again this morning after evacuations. A detailed bomb threat closed the schools for more than 2 hours yesterday. Memorial students were evacuated to Westtown Mall, while students at Jefferson were evacuated to John Muir Elementary. The all clear was given around 1:30 in the afternoon. The district says MPD dogs did not find anything suspicious.
A Madison man charged with killing his sister on Christmas Eve back in 2019 has been sentenced to 40 years in institutional care. Joseph Greene had originally been charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the death of 63-year-old Sheila Greene. According to a criminal complaint, Greene shot his sister, then went back to his apartment, threw the gun in the trash, and called 911.
Several Wisconsin agencies met for a roundtable discussion on the Lincoln Hills facility and juvenile justice reform. Representatives from the Department of Health, Corrections, as well as a Dane County judge and a local activist gathered on Zoom to discuss dismantling the juvenile delinquency to prison pipeline. Lincoln Hills has long been criticized, but just last week the Assembly did pass a bill to fund a brand new center.
5 family members are dead, including 3 children, after an apparent murder-suicide at a California church. Police say a father walked into the church and shot 3 of his kids, all under the age of 15, before turning the gun on himself. Authorities say the 5th person found dead was supervising the visit between the father and his kids.
President Biden will deliver his first State of the Union address tonight. He is expected to talk about the war in Ukraine, rising prices, and recovering from the pandemic. His remarks begin at 8 p.m. You can watch it right here on News 3 Now.
Former President Trump, his daughter Ivanka, and his son Donald Jr. all appealing an order requiring them to sit for depositions. A judge ordered them to be deposed last month in a New York State investigation into the Trump Organization's finances. They're supposed to appear for those depositions next Thursday. If their request for a stay is denied, they will likely plead the 5th during that appearance.
One of the biggest baby formula makers is expanding a recall. Abbott Nutrition is now including some lots of the Similac PM 6040 powdered instant formula. It comes after products from the company's facility in Michigan was linked to illness in babies. At least 4 infants have been hospitalized and 1 has died from possible infection linked to a bacteria that may be in the formula.
We cannot rule out the possibility of seeing a flurry or some drizzle at times today. A weak disturbance going to be passing by, but otherwise it's generally a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout today. We're at 40 now. We're going to see our temperatures warming up into the low 40s for your highs headed into the afternoon. There's more where that came from, though. 47 on Wednesday, colder on Thursday, down into the low 30s, but 50 by Saturday. We will hear thunder on Saturday across parts of southern Wisconsin, only to turn around and see a chance for snow Sunday night.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Stay with us, folks. Another news and weather update coming up in half an hour.